Many grieving people, and not only spouses, don't talk about their grief or their spouse or their person because they're afraid of burdening other people, of burdening the people around them with their sadness. But having a safe place to share your story is vitally important for moving through your grief and finding your way back into life. Family often isn't the best support. I know most of us turn to family hoping that they can support us, but often they can't. And it's largely because they're grieving too, and they don't always have the emotional reserves to be terribly supportive. So you end up feeling like you're burdening them, right? And that's not helpful to anybody. And they're stretching to be there for you. The other thing that adult children do is try to take over. They get very, very worried about the surviving parent. And so they're trying to contain things to make themselves feel safe. Sometimes it's helpful to you, sometimes it's not. Just be clear which it is. Some people are lucky enough to have a friend or two who can listen, who can sit and be with them and listen and share the stories and the memories. That's wonderful. If you have that, that's wonderful. But a lot of people don't. And even if you have that, for people to be with you through the entire grieving process, which for spouses is at least a year, and I think typically to really get through the acute grief, it's more like 18 months. There seems to be this turning point at 18 months. But it's a long haul. And two people being the primary support, that's hard. It's hard. And again, you start feeling like you're burdening them. Even if they do stick around, often they drift away. So you don't want to be going down that road too. Keep the friends. It's wonderful. They're going to help, but it may not be enough. May not be enough. So all of this is why I am such a big believer. It's one of the reasons, not the only reason. There's so many reasons groups are good, but it's one of the reasons I'm such a believer in support groups, because support groups support. They are people who understand it, where you can share your stories. They don't get tired of hearing about it. They are there. It's just amazing. And groups tend to get very tight. You get very close to these people. And you're never going to burden them, ever. Not ever. So, I know there's all this stuff about not being a group person. Yeah, I've heard that a few times, or not wanting to share with strangers. They won't be strangers for long, I promise. And worrying that it's going to be too sad. The truth of the matter is, it's not too sad. It's too sad being alone. It's too sad being alone. But being in a group, yeah, it's sad. Yeah, there are tears, but there's also laughter. There's also stories and sharing and deep connection and all of that good stuff. But if you can get over the objections, groups make a huge difference. I'm going to tell you why. From my years providing grief support to hospice families, it is crystal clear to me that people who come to a group do better over the long haul and get through the worst of their grief faster and more completely when they attend a group than those who do not. And I can tell you, I would see that when I would, because I made calls throughout the year. I would call people, and I always call them toward the end of the first year. And I would talk to people, and they'd be okay, most of them. But they weren't as okay as the people I'd had in the group. It was really different. Really, really different. And I know that's hard to see when you're in the middle of it, but I'm telling you, it makes a difference. The other reason is that groups are designed to provide mutual support. This makes it different from friends. Makes it really different from friends. Everyone there has experienced a similar loss to yours, and they get it. They understand what you're going through and understand how hard it really is. And they're never going to try to fix it. Another thing that happens is that you get to support them. You're not the focus. You're not the only grieving person in the room. This is a mutual experience of them supporting you and you supporting them. And I gotta tell you that feeling like you are helping somebody else when you're already feeling so bad yourself, it helps. It really helps. So keep that in mind as well. Mutual support. And groups, they love to tell their stories about their spouses, and they love listening to everyone else's. Some of my favorites are, when I ask what was their spouse's most annoying habit, for example. I got kicked out of a room because I refer to them as my raucous widows, because they were laughing so hard telling these stories, these annoying habits that their husbands, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious. So we do laugh some. There are tears, there's laughter, there's compassion, there's sore hearts and open hearts. It's all of it. But sharing the stories is at the heart of why groups work, because those stories are the means through which we all grieve. We have lots of feelings when we're grieving, there's no question about it. But we don't have to talk about the feelings so much as we have to tell the stories. The feelings come up in relationship to the stories, but it's not like people come in and talk about, well, I'm feeling really sad today. I mean, sometimes they will, but it's rare. It will be, I'm struggling because my husband always took the car to the car wash, and I have never done that before, and it's terrifying me. That's a story and a feeling. And you better believe the person who came in with that particular issue got all kinds of support. And when she finally managed to get herself to the car wash and came in and told the group, everybody celebrated with her. It was amazing. It was amazing. So the stories are important, and we process our grief through story to a very large extent. It's one of the reasons sharing the memories with people who knew our loved one is so helpful, and why it's so unhelpful when they decide they're not going to, or they're going to change the subject and all of that stuff. And in a group, because of the nature of it, because it's mutual and because we're sharing stories, there is no danger of burdening other people with your grief, with your sadness, with your pain. It's funny, it might seem like the pain would multiply in a group. You got multiple people, you think it's just going to multiply. It's not what happens. Sharing in a group actually diminishes the pain, and just does. Come and find out. So if you've been afraid of being a burden to your friends and family, I would really encourage you to give a group a try, even if it's not mine. I'd love to have you, but even if it's not mine. Mine is not in person. Some people prefer that, so you can find things locally if you need to. But my group meets on Zoom, which means you can be anywhere in the country, in the world even, to join. We meet twice a month. And you're welcome to come just once to see how it feels. It's a drop-in group, so there's no commitment to be there every time. Some people have come and just listened the first couple of times. So you can check it out. You can come check it out, see what it's like, and then decide. I would say I would not recommend coming in the first couple of months. The end of the second month into the third month is probably an optimum time to join. It's worth waiting a bit. So you can check my group out at griefheals.com/group. Will also be in the description below. And yeah, come check it out. I'd love to have you. All right? You take care. Bye-bye.